cool. Hmm. Ooh, I like this song. Alright, so I know this is gonna be a little bit different from what I'm usually doing because this is gonna be post commentary. This is gonna be all live. So, what's up, guys? Welcome to back to Otaku Underground, coming at you live now of all times. Uh, you know, it's funny because for a while now I've been meaning to get around to doing this, but I don't know. This topic has just been like so elusive to me lately because every like day I put it off, I'm always coming with more and more opinions on it, on what I should say. I'm never like 100% concrete on what I should be saying either. So it's just like a perpetual loop of like, what should I be talking about? I have no idea what the fuck. So it just becomes like this endless loop of what the fuck should I talk about? I don't even know. So I figured tonight, since I'm gonna be hanging to bed a little bit, and it's like 10 o'clock where I am in Arizona Standard Time. So whatever. Might as well just get this out of the way right now. Alright, so for anyone who's new to this show, two things. One, I usually spend the first 5 minutes or so to like just talk about the channel quickly before I actually delve into what I'm going to be talking about at hand. And this is going to be live, so if anyone has any questions in the chat, by all means, go ahead and ask. No holds barred. You can literally ask the person who was born, who eats, sleeps, and breathes Dragon Ball Z any question you want, and I might be able to get you an answer. Who knows? And the other thing is, currently I'm looking for other co-hosts to have on the show. So, you know, if anyone out there wants to get on a podcast with a cool guy who knows a few things about video games and anime, a couple things here and there, just shoot me a PM, throw me a message, write my channel anywhere so that I can see the message and I can get the idea. Oh, he wants me on a show. All right, we can like, I can just add him on Skype and we can get this shit underway at some point. Unfortunately, I can't have multiple people on this at the same time while I'm also live. I might find a way to get around that sometime. I'm not certain how to do that exactly at this point in time. I'm going to probably experiment with OBS a little bit more later when I get the opportunity to do so. But I'm not sure for the time being. I'm not really certain where that would be going. Yeah, so when I'm streaming this live right now is actually just have my Elgato recording my PS3 and the incredible background I have on this. This is so cool. Like I have like an actual like Toonami theme on here, but I figured I might as well just keep like the space background I have for my usual stuff, so it doesn't seem too out of place. And let's see what's going on besides that. I have encountered like the worst technical difficulties ever in trying to output videos lately. Like, oh my god, Sony Vegas. It just does not want to fucking work, like, ever. I'm just like, dude, are you serious? You couldn't, like, just cooperate with me for once in my life? No? Alright, so, like, the rundown is, every time I'm doing something with it, it seems like something goes wrong, and my videos are on hold. Like, literally, this has been, like, my last week. So, for example, like, Sony Vegas can't register this MP4 file. Well, shit, I'm gonna have to figure a way around that. So I record like 2 hours of gameplay footage and get that sorted out. Oh yeah, it can't register like the video preview on Sony Vegas. Well, gonna have to get that fixed. And can't render the video. Oh shit, I better do a custom thing then so I can do that. Now the most recent one is it's dropping hella frames when it exports the video. And so I know, it's at least streaming or like it's at least exporting. Wait, what's this? The health is good. That's nice. No, I'm just checking the live settings for this right now. So I'm just like, dude, I need like a breather right now. I just need to go collect my thoughts, go watch some other shows right now, go do something else for God's sake, so I can get my mind off of Sony Vegas and its ineptitude to actually record anything or do anything right. Which sucks, cause if it keeps giving me problems like this, I'm either going to consult an expert, just either that or like just back up everything to like factory settings, or just go and get like some Adobe program, like Adobe Premiere or some shit like that. I don't know right now. Who knows? But chat. Yeah, better go and save that. So everything is kind of like in limbo right now. I have Ultimate Ninja 1 recording right now, and I managed to get like half the game done last time I sat down and played it. So whenever I get around to doing that again, that's gonna be pretty close to the end of it actually. So outside of that, I don't think that's too crazy going on right now. I'm just really busy because I actually managed to get a fucking job recently, so kind of enjoying that right now. No idea what I'm gonna blow money on though. Probably either a better computer or something else I really need. I'm not certain right now. It's kind of all up in the air. By the way, I hope the pixelation on the video quality isn't too terrible. Although I know since it's the podcast, everyone's gonna be watching this or like just listening to us, not even bothering with the video. So whatever. All right, so again, anyone wants to get on the show, just leave me a message and we'll sort something out. I could definitely use the company instead of it just being me by myself. Ah! Alright. So, Dragon Ball GT. Oh boy, this thing. Alright, so I just want to clear the air on this first of all by saying that I'm not the guy who is very bipolar about this, because whenever I talk to anyone about Dragon Ball GT, it usually comes down to one of two responses. They're either white knighting the hell out of GT, and they just absolutely like, yeah, you're just talking shit about GT. You could just, it's a good show. You just need to give it a chance. And there's other people who are just like, ah, fuck you, man. Dragon Ball GT is like, it's not Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't live up to the standards. It's not that. It sucks. And I might be the only person in the entire world who actually knows and loves Dragon Ball Z, but also respects GT to a certain level. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like everyone's just like, you know, one side of the fence or the other with this. Like, God forbid, you talk about either like politics or abortion or religion, and you get the fucking Dragon Ball GT, and then it's like there is no middle ground. It's stupid. So this is where I come in, I guess. So what do I say on the fence? Yeah, definitely somewhere in the middle, but I have to highlight everything that I think deserves to be standout and noteworthy of the show first and foremost. So my short answer for everything I like about Dragon Ball GT, I've kind of came to this conclusion a little while ago, comes out of three things: Baby Arc, Super Saiyan 4, Nova Shenron. That's it. Those are the things I love most about the show. They are the best executed. They are superb in concept and execution. They're just fantastic all around. 10 out of 10. Good stuff. GG's, guys. Go home. Okay. Alright, so everything else though, it like falls in like certain categories. And I'll talk about the things I like as they come up. God, I'm doing this all offhand. I didn't write a script for this shit or anything. I'm just throwing this all in the wind. But alright, so first thing I should probably start off with is what bothers me most about this show. Alright, so for me, as a Dragon Ball Z fan, there are two things that I think are paramount to making this show. Just in presentation. We're not talking about characters, because characters, I'm not the guy to talk to about that. Because like if you talk about good characters, it kind of just goes all over the place. There's no solid answer. I'm not the biggest fan of the song. Hang on a sec. There we go. I like this. It's all live. So yeah, again, I'm not the guy to talk about characters. I am the guy to talk to, however, about presentation and everything else. So the things I think that GT needs the most that would make it so much better is a better presentation and a better soundtrack. Okay, so what do I mean by this? I think like the worst problem about Dragon Ball GT is its presentation. Like just flat out. Visuals, details, spark effects, particle effects, lighting, art style, all of these things just do not speak Dragon Ball Z at all. It's very flat washed and it's not very inspired. So like, you know, the worst of all, the animation is probably like the worst part of the show, period. Alright, so Dragon Ball GT, as many of you may be aware, if not you're about to be aware, did not have a manga. So when Toriyama would, okay, I say this, it didn't have a manga, but it is directed by Toriyama pretty much directly. So it can more or less, there's a stronger evidence in that, stronger case in that respect if you want to consider it canon or not. Me, I don't give a shit. I'm just take this for what it is, and I know that GT, fucking Toriyama's gonna be making a new Z series at some point in your future anyway, so it's kind of relevant. So, if this show had a manga style as reference, I think they really could have brought a lot more life into this. So that way Toriyama had a lot more time on his hands to actually illustrate everything he wanted to, instead of just kind of ad-libbing everything and making everything just seem kind of really ugly and muddled as a result. So, but compared to like everything else, like any other anime, the visuals aren't that bad. They're passable at best. It's no Studio Madhouse. It's no fucking IG Productions. God forbid, it's no fucking Kill or Gurren Lagann, which I think is Madhouse. I'm not the biggest fan of those guys. I like those guys, but I'm not like the biggest follower of them, so I won't be able to tell you them right off the bat. But anyway, they do not live up to those standards, but the Dragon Ball GT's visuals at least do shit on a lot of other anime, action anime that were coming out at the time. I would say, like GT, I think it originally aired in like the late 90s, mid-late 90s. It was somewhere around that time frame. Because again, it didn't start coming over in C's until like mid like 2003, 2004. I remember sitting around my house with my dad when I was still living with him, like when I was a kid, 10, 11 years old, just waiting for, just chilling, just like waiting for a new Dragon Ball Z anything to come out, movie like DVD wise, until one day fucking GT launches. I'm like, what the hell's this? And I get it. But when I look back on it, I realize I did not go back to rewatch GT anywhere near as much as I did the original show, Z, if in case you didn't catch my drift. And looking back on it, I can definitely see why, because all of these visuals are just so flat and boring. Like, compare anything in the show, any fight scene. Like, hang on, let me just think of like the most well-drawn fight in this. The one that comes to mind is Baby versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, just as a start, you know? I think this is probably like the high point of the series for me, because it actually brings life into what the show was supposed to be. You know, it actually has art style. It seems cool. It's really action-packed. Fucking fists in your face action, but it's not as fast. I will appraise the sound department though, like for like, you know, like Foley effects, like punch effects, or like air sound effects, that they do have pretty nailed down, but nowhere near to the effect as Goku's fist making a fucking jaguar sound when he threw a Kaioken punch at Vegeta in the Ocean dubs. It doesn't reach that level. God, I love that. It doesn't reach that level, but it manages to sound hard-hitting enough on its own to be pretty good. So, remember, when you talk about presentation, you talk a whole hell of a lot more than just, like, how pretty it is. You gotta go over sound, you gotta go over sound design, sound effects, music, ambiance. You have a lot of shit to cover, so take any review of an anime with a grain of salt, because there's a lot more stuff that goes into it than just that. So I think sound design in the show is pretty good. Music, no, but I'm still talking about the presentation right now. I hate the fucking textures they have in the show, though. I mean, when you look at anything in Dragon Ball GT, everything is just so plain and whitewashed. Like, hang on a second, you know what? I'm live streaming the show on the PS right now. Hang on a second, I can go visualize this shit. And it's still playing the music. I like this. Hang on, let me go give you an example. So let me go look up anything Dragon Ball GT related whatsoever on fucking Google. If you're listening to this, don't worry, I'm going to be talking about it as it comes up. It just, if you're watching this visually, you have a little bonus. So let's look up anything Dragon Ball GT related. Dragon Ball GT. Now let's have a look. This is a little cool bonus. I didn't realize I could actually be taking advantage of this because I am streaming live. Okay, so let's look at fan art. God, I hope the safe search is on. Something like, oh my god, we have that in here. Something like this. No. This. I think is a good representation. Well, no. I saw something up here a little more that seemed a little more to it. There we go. Actually, it looks pretty cool. I might save that picture, actually. DragonballGT.com/ oh, wait, this is actually fantastic. It's the official website. Okay, so do you want to plug in? Yeah, I might as well. Alright, GT. Look at this picture right here. This is of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And this is the background of the show. Unfortunately, this is really as detailed as the show ever gets, you know? There's nothing, it doesn't get too extravagant. There's no crazy cool art palette they have. Like, look at the early days of Dragon Ball Z. Like, especially the first 3 movies, like, especially Dead Zone and Tree of Might. Those movies had fucking insanely well-drawn backgrounds that you could just, oh my god, this shit looks so beautiful. It's so well drawn. It's pastel. It's watercolor. It's painted well. It's so fucking cool to look at. But then you have this show, and everything is either a very flat texture and blends in with itself too well, or just doesn't look pretty whatsoever. I think that's ultimately what the show's biggest downfall is. The art style is not that good. Well, besides, you know, of course, the fucking animation. Animation, I can't really discuss too much in this. Oh shit, we actually got wallpapers. How about that? This, here we go. And let's go 1920 by 1080, of course. Of course! If everyone wants to load. Now for like animations, this is again where, is this from the Game Boy Advance game? Looks like it. Huh. Kinda cool though. Alright, so for Game Boy, no. Animation is again a very big problem with this show. The fucking animation. I think the biggest example I can give for this is the Super 17 and Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight. So for this fight, it was basically for like not even the entire fight. It was Goku just throwing energy blasts at Super Android 17. And you might immediately think to yourself, well, alright, I don't see why that has really anything to do with it. It really begins to become a problem when you realize that they're using the same animation clip for like 10 seconds spans total for like the same shots. Like, it immediately comes to mind just like Goku just like rapid firing energy blasts at Super 17 just for like days on end. And the same shot as Super 17 just sitting there smiling and taking it in the fucking torso. And you know, you don't immediately realize this until you think, like, when you go back to watch the fucking any fight in Z, like, goddamn, Super Saiyan, no, maybe not Super Vegeta, Goku versus Cell, that fight, you know, regular Perfect Cell, that fight had so much better animation going into it, so much more fluidity, it stuck out so well. But then when you look back at Super 17 versus Goku, everything's so stiff and robotic, like, it's just a bunch of claymations just fighting each other. And you know, I'm not dissing claymations or anything, but you know, just like for sake of argument, it becomes pretty stiff, not very good to look at. So again, there's no real movement ever put into the show, and I can kind of understand why. I mean, like, God forbid, when you draw Super Saiyan 4, you're gonna have yourself a hell of a time with fucking drawing that every single time. Just like Kishimoto when he decided to draw Special Sauce with like the most weird ass manga killer Sharingan in history. I'm just like, what do you even do with this? Really? Oh my god, it's a cool picture. So yeah, the fucking animation, a lot of reused clips. Everything is so flat and pastel. Well, not pastel. That's like, I barely even know what that word means. It's probably something using that word. Anyway, everything is so flat and dry. There's no real, and that's what also feeds into like the problem. The choreography is also really bad too for the fights themselves. You'll see maybe Goku throw a few punches, you know, fire a few energy blasts. For the most part of every single fight, it's mostly talking. That's, ew, no. Even for the climactic final fight with Goku and Vegeta versus Omega Shenron, that's really bad. Gotta get some that Pepsi. All right. So the animation is a problem. The visuals are a problem. The art style is a problem. Sound design's okay. Now let's talk about the fucking music. Okay. The best way I could describe Dragon Ball G. Well, no. I can't talk about the Japanese score. Because I just fucking hate the Japanese score for anything Dragon Ball ever. Dragon Ball, yeah, that's okay. Dragon Ball Z, no. And I'll make a future case as to why that's the case. You know, and like maybe podcast for sound design in anime or something rather. I don't even know. But the American score for GT is like the most dead wash, boring OST I've ever heard. Period. Like I've heard even like other shows that are just like total throwaways, like fucking Demon King Daimao. I bet none of you ever heard that show. Good. Don't watch it. It is a waste of your time. Even that had more memorable high points sound wise than this fucking show. And again, if I were to describe Dragon Ball GT's score in America, it would probably be just like one flat guitar line that lasts for like 5 seconds. A crazy big drum in the background, like boom, boom, and like another like C minor guitar, electric guitar note being held for like another 7 seconds. Basically like that. That's really the entirety of the score. And fucking Brandon and I were having a discussion about this a few days ago. We're like, can you recognize a Dragon Ball? Can you recognize Bruce Falconer's music offhand? For me, more or less. If it's Z, I will definitely recognize it. For like his other works, it does have certain character, but his stuff is like all over the place. Like fucking Z score. You know, I don't want to sound biased. I really don't. But Dragon Ball Z's Bruce Falconer score is still the greatest soundtrack I've ever heard in anything in my entire life. It does not get better than that. In comparison to that, GT, you're gonna hear me compare GT to Z a lot, and it's inevitable. It really is, because GT is living or trying to live up to the expectations of Z. And the reason GTA exists is because Z is so fucking popular. Like, you know, after the Majin Buu saga ends, Toriyama's like, ah, shit, this is still making money, guys. We're supposed to end this at the Frieza saga and Dragon Ball, but it's still going. Fuck. So, you know, you have to compare GT to Z in that way. There's no way of getting around it. So, prepare for that. Where's my point going? Unfortunately, there's only one other guitar line or one other even piece of musical instrumentation I can actually think of that comes to mind. And it's from some points with Super Saiyan 4 Goku actually getting like the upper hand against like Baby Vegeta in Grade 8 form. It was like, and I think that sounds pretty good. It's actually, God forbid, it's more than one guitar note per second, and it sounds okay. It's no Super Saiyan at last. It's no Super Saiyan 3 power up. Certainly no Celthians, but it's got enough to stand on its own. And when there's only one song in the entire show that I can think of immediately that comes to mind like that, that's a bit of a problem. So yeah, and also as a guy who's going to school for fucking film and movie making, one of the rules we toss around a lot is sound is 51% of your movie. And I know, again, I know, film and anime are two different genres, but they follow the same philosophies for the most part. You know what I mean? Sound is still the grand majority of your stuff. So you gotta have good music to back up your anime. Otherwise, especially if it's action. If it's like horror, that's even more paramount, but for action, it's still pretty goddamn important. But for that, it's like more sound design and actual music, you know what I mean? I gotta catch my breath there once in a while. Whew. So because of that, the lacking of a good soundtrack for GT is what hurts it even more. And you'll find every once in a while, someone uploading fight scenes from GT to YouTube with the Bruce Falconer score, and it just brings so much more life into it. It just makes it sound so much better. So, yeah. That being said, if you were to improve the visuals and give it a brand new score, like, fuck, goddamn, why I have so much hiccups right now? If you were to give it a new score and new soundtrack, like fucking Kai score, it would be immediately so much better. Hell, you don't even need to redraw the show. Just give it a Kai treatment. Give it like a new filtering. Give it new like some different backgrounds. Make it seem prettier. Give it more like fucking meaty sound effects for everything like just whenever Goku just punches someone Super Saiyan 4, it just sounds like the sky is getting ripped the fuck apart. Just make it sound brutal. And give it like the crazy cool orchestra score. Now I gotta say this. The guy who does the music for GT, he also did the soundtrack for The Return of Cooler, and I think he did some samples for... No, he also did like the non-licensed music for the first Broly movie. If I were to say offhand, I think he also did clips for BoJack and maybe Super Android 13. But it's been a while since I've actually sat down and watched Super Android 13 and BoJack, so I can't say one or the other. But I will say, this guy, he seems to have some good talent. He's like... He sounds like he has good character with his music, and he has a direction he wants to take it. But for fuck's sakes, guys, I never say this. For God's sakes, guys, give him more. Tell him to do more music than just like one flat guitar note for like a 10-second span. Just please, for the love of God, tell him he can use more instruments and use them more frequently throughout his fucking songs. Do that, and he will sound so amazing. He might actually sound like a new Brian Johnson for the Z soundtrack. Wow, we don't know. Brian Johnson did the score for Fusion Reborn. Go look him up. Those songs in it are fucking awesome. So, yeah, that's about it for that. Man, this guy though. I hang on. What's his name again? I'm gonna look him up. Let me give him a sec. Where's the soundtrack? And it's not saying. Damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Dragon Ball Z Wiki, you make me laugh sometimes. Alright, hang on. Theme songs, no staff. Nah, I'm not finding it in here. Or at least not the American. I have the GT Wiki page pulled up right now for the DBZ Wiki. I'm not finding it immediately. Oh my god, I love this song. Alright, so those are my big two gripes with this fucking show. The presentation and music. Now let's cover everything else that kind of just gets thrown around, and I'll try to make sense of it every once in a while, but results may vary. You know how it is. Alright, first thing. The characters. There are a few new characters brought into this, but ultimately none of them don't even matter. God damn. I mean, this isn't Goku being like the grand poobah of everything that matters in like the fucking movies where it all boils down to Goku. This isn't Goku just like stealing reins in the first last minute for like a giant comeback. No, this is Goku's show through and through. Someone on YouTube actually makes a joke and calls it Dragon Ball Goku's time because it's basically all about Goku, and he is absolutely correct. No one else in this show fucking matters, literally. Like, you never, when it comes to major villains, there's Gohan, who again lost all of his fucking power because he wasn't trained, so he's no longer stronger than Super Saiyan 3, so he's kind of a pussy now. There's Goten, who hasn't trained whatsoever, I don't think. There's Trunks, who offers nothing of value whatsoever, besides, like, he's a fucking ship pilot for the baby arc, and that's it, literally. There's Vegeta, who, oh my god. He's got this cool new design that makes him look like a fucking motorcycle rider in the show, and I fucking love it, but, again, he doesn't do shit. Although, he does do stuff in the Omega Shenron arc, and he's kind of like the main baddie in the baby arc. But Super 17 arc, nah, he's just kind of there to get his ass whooped. Oops, kind of forgot that parts, but yeah. And then there's the new character, Oob, who is You know, you immediately have high standards for you when your resume says reincarnation of Kid Buu. Oh my god, and he's a Z fighter. Please tell me he is going to be the most badass character in the fucking show. No, he's not. What he is he starts off as Goku's apprentice. Goes gets ass handed to him by a baby, Super Baby 2. Why do I call him Super Baby 2? Just call him regular baby anyway. Then he fuses with that Buu so he can become a whole being again. Although there was no reason to do that because the whole fission of Buu was to split good and evil. There's no power lost, but it did anyway. I have no idea why it did that, but it did. And then Majub came about, and he got eaten by baby. And he did buy Goku time though. Like for powering up Goku, he was like trapped inside baby and was like kind of like a force field, and then that's it. And he got his ass handed to him by Super 17, and he got his ass handed to him by Omega Shenron. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Oh, fuck. This is what really fucking puts my balls in the salad shooter. Fucking Majub. The reincarnation of Kid Buu. Like, the ultimate weapon of mass destruction. The being and embodiment of chaos itself in the fucking show. The ultimate unstoppable killing machine. You guys toss it besides the fucking tertiary character. You gotta be kidding me, really? At least if something else, it looks like he was put more fight the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. At the bare minimum, but come on, guys. This guy looks like he had so much potential to be like the coolest dude ever. Have like regeneration up the ass. Have crazy like unlimited power reserves. Nah, he just, you know, can't have him do anything cool. No. And then we have other characters. Baby, as I said, definitely. God damn, he is. What was that movie? Puppet Walkers? No. Skinwalkers. Some movie like that, but Body Snatchers. That was it. He is basically the fucking Dragon Ball Z equivalent of Body Snatchers. This guy is so fucking cool because he's actually a really good villain. He's creepy. His ability actually sent a lot of shivers down my spine when I was a kid, knowing he was like just infecting all the Z fighters, these long-loved characters of mine, and turned them evil and making them fight against each other. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is so creepy. I love him. And then he gave like Vegeta like the most badass makeover ever, with like white hair and 2 red lines going right out of his face. I was like, oh shit. Man, it actually was a formidable foe too when he was inside of Vegeta. He was actually really badass, and the only Super Saiyan 4 was able to top of him. But goddamn, baby, he was such a good villain. It's weird how this show introduced a lot more good villains and good heroes. It's funny that, huh? Again, the only hero that matters is, again, Goku, because, you know, fucking Toriyama having that Goku hard on. But I don't think there's either here nor there. Alright. Other new characters are basically all the villains. Super 17, who's basically a revamp of the old 17, but he's pretty cool. I actually like Super 17. He's pretty nifty, and he actually takes full advantage of Android 1920's power of being able to absorb energy, but just like blowing up to a whole new level. I love that. It's really good with the way how he pulls it off. So anyway, there's that. Nova Shenron, again, one of my favorite personal things of this entire fucking show, but I'll save it for later. Omega Shenron, well, besides all the Shenrons, period, he also had all the tertiary characters in Baby Saga, as well as like the Black Star Dragon Ball Saga. Yeah. The only cool guy that came out of there was like that one Star Trek looking motherfucker who had like swords in his like shoulder pads. That guy was really cool. I think his name was Legic. I think it was. He was really cool. I actually loved the shit out of that guy. And I actually took Goku going fucking Super Saiyan to take him on. That was cool. But it makes me realize that there was also a character out there who could have easily beat the shit out of Frieza, who was just as powerful as a Super Saiyan. That's pretty hilarious, actually. But enough of that. Let's see. Other than that, there was General Will though, who was kind of funny. He was able to turn people metal, but they weren't dead. So I was like, well, that's pointless. Okay, sure. And let's see, all the Shadow Dragons, but the only 3 that stand out to me, well, actually 4, are Omega Shenron, aka /Shenron, Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, and what was her name? What was her name? Female Shenron. Fuck. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head. That's the problem. Oh, Oceana Shenron. That was it. Because she was the only female of the Shadow Dragon. So she, you know, since Z is starving for female characters already, that she just immediately pops to mind. Nova and Ice, definitely like the best villains introduced in the show, bar none. Besides Baby, Nova Shenron. Oh no, Sin Shenron. Kind of just like a. He feels like just a rehashed version of Perfect Cell in terms of personality. There's nothing to him whatsoever. He's cunning, he's devious, he's a cheating asshole, but you know, that's kind of like everyone else in the show too. And he's cocky and he's hot-headed and he's all powerful. That's really about the extent of his power, or his personality. And his character, he just does not stand up whatsoever. I think his origin, like with the Shadow Dragons, the way they're born is like, it depends on like a wish from the dragon, and depending on if the wish was for good intentions, then the more evil the Shadow Dragon. Whereas if it's a selfish wish, it'll be like a slightly less evil Shadow Dragon. So like Nova Shenron came about because of King Pickle's wish for youth. It was either youth or eternal youth. I don't remember which one. And then there's Sin Shenron, who I think was brought about because of one of the wishes to bring back all the people on the earth. I think it was because of Boo. It might have been Boo. Yeah, that's actually probably it. So that's a really cool dynamic right there. Like you were actually making the show feel conclusive with these Shadow Dragons. Like it's like a direct moral consequence of the show. Like the more, like, you know, it's like the Dragon Balls are like the be all end all fix it problem. Just like, and we got the Dragon Balls. Yeah, time to bring everyone back again. It has really no consequence. And then you have this very end of the show, like these almighty dragons, which didn't really look like dragons to begin with, to be honest. They look more like fucking gargoyles, but anyway. You have these guys who just pop out of nowhere and are just like the direct result of the Z Fighters' actions. That is so fucking cool. I cannot emphasize enough how much I love that. That is so cool, so nifty. But then Omega Shenron caps it off, and it just kind of there's like the ultimate generic baddie. I'm like, really? His design's okay, but personality-wise, there's nothing there. I'm like, So yeah, that's basically the characters introduced in GT. We have much better characters introduced with the Ginyu Force. God damn. Well, besides, you know, the cores of Baby and Nova Shenron. Besides those guys, there is no stand-alone characters in the show whatsoever. And again, for Z, that's a big of an issue because what Dragon Ball Z lacks in deep story, it makes up for with deep characters that change over the course of the show. Like Vegeta, Trunks, fucking Gohan, who was like the epitome of character growth in this show. Well, you know, he doesn't really do anything in the ring. You know what I mean? Standout villains. All of these cool character traits that just make these characters feel alive and real and make up for the somewhat shallow story. So you're just like, yeah, you see that kind of million plot holes over there? Yeah, let's just turn your head gently away from that. Here's Goku, fucking Vegeta, these cool guys who are just like super involved and cool. But then you realize GT is like, and all the old characters don't do shit, and not all is not right in the world. And then Goku's a kid, and this is our main hero. Everyone else is just kind of whatever. Yeah, not slapping the balls whatsoever for all these longtime Z fans, huh? No, no. Man. All right, now let's take it back a little bit to what GT was originally supposed to be. It was actually supposed to be like, I have the wiki pulled up right now, actually. Do I still have it pulled up? Yes, I do. It was originally meant to be like a tribute to the original Dragon Ball. That's rough paraphrasing, but it basically is meant to be that, because the way it opens up with another hunt for the Dragon Balls, which, you know, we have not had an evolved Dragon Ball hunt for a long ass time, not since Oh god, the most involved Dragon Ball hunt we've had in the entire Z saga was when Goku fucking around looking for the Dragon Balls before the Cell fight. Wow, that was that was a while ago. But not even that. I think if you want to roll back even further, go back even further in time. There was the Lord Slug looking for the balls. By the way, you know how I was saying earlier that the Black Star Dragon Balls were, well, no, the Shadow Dragons were created as a result of like wishes made on the Earth Dragon Balls. Then there should be a lot more. You know, movies or not, there was a lot more fucking dragons that should have been there, because I can guarantee you there is more than 7 wishes made on the Earth Dragon Balls in this show's canon lifetime. There is so much more. But nah, there wasn't. No, there wasn't more. It's just the 7. Which, you know, it's very convenient how Toriyama overlooked a lot of other wishes made on the Dragon Balls. But, you know, I'm just going to quickly go back. I'm going to rethink this a little bit. There was a wish to bring... Wait, was there a Dragon made from the wish to bring Goku back? I think it was the Electric Shenron. Maybe. I think there was one, because one made a joke that they were brothers and shit like that. I don't remember. Yeah. There was a wish on it to like remove the bomb from 18's torso. There's also the wish to bring out everyone that was killed by Cell. There were Trunks included. Let's see. Trying to think. Was there 2 wishes made on the Earth? No, the Earth Dragon Balls only made 2 wishes after then they showed up. That was it. God, this isn't even getting into, you know, this isn't even getting into like the movies, how many there would be there, but you know, details. So there was those ones. God, I feel like there was a fucking wish made to bring everyone who on, not only to bring back everyone who was killed by Frieza, but also transport everyone on Namek. Wait, no, that was the wish made on the Namek Dragon Balls, to teleport everyone from Namek to Earth, besides Goku and Frieza. But there was also that one. Star One's my favorite song in this album, by the way. Just there was... Okay, I can't really think of it anymore right now, but you generally get the idea. There was a lot more wishes made on the Earth Dragon Balls than just the 7 that they were implying. Those were like the 7 major ones, but there was a lot more to it, too. God damn. Excuse me. Alright. So, I've talked about presentation, the sound design, the characters. Oh yeah, that's right. I was originally talking about the what the hell is it? Try and roll it back a little bit, see what I was talking about a little bit earlier. It was, oh yeah, it's Dragon Ball GT originally supposed to be like a spiritual callback to the original Dragon Ball. Did I just say the same thing? GT is a callback to Dragon Ball, just so you guys know. Which would be fine, you know. It was like, yeah, that's cool, you know, like go cool new alien worlds, explore them. You know, like actual get like some cool shit going on, you know. Like it's a new hunt for Dragon Balls, you know. But there's 2 snafus in that. The first is that there is not one but 2 Dragon Ball hunts in this show. Once in space, and the other one to find the Shadow Dragons. So that just makes it feel very redundant at the very end. And the second one is that the American audience didn't even get the first Dragon Ball hunt in space until like after the series was done and we got the lost episodes. I'm not even joking, like I think there was a solid 3 DVDs, which is like 12 episodes, of like Goku and Trunks and Pan hunting around through space looking for the Dragon Balls, but of course that was cut because I think it was had to do something with like the American audience and how they just wanted to get to the good stuff. Hang on, I'm on the wiki right now. I might as well go look it up. And English adaptations. Okay, it was I think it was because it was airing on Toonami at the time, so they wanted to just fast forward and get to the good stuff. Yeah, and they're all who says lost episodes. Just going down the list right now. Okay, that was it. And this is the exact quote from the wiki. This edit was implemented by the producers of the English dub to prevent viewers from possibly being put off by these differently toned early episodes. I can understand that, but even then, for the DVD releases, you could at least keep them there. I mean, there's no reason why not. You know, it would still be very nice to have it just in general. So, yeah, just come on, guys. So we lost an entire Dragon Ball hunt, like as soon as the show opened up in the American audiences. And then, well, I'm pretty sure they're back in the bricks, but I'm not counting the bricks for this right now. And then the Dragon Ball hunt for the Shadow Dragons, which makes it feel all sorts of fucking redundant. So that kind of just kills the spirit right there. You know what I mean? I know the first one isn't Toriyama's fault, but the second one is, because you know, actually Dragon Ball GT was original. Fucking Toriyama doing it again. GT was supposed to end with the defeated baby and Piccolo dying, but nope, had to keep it going once again because fuck you, Toriyama knows his fans will die if they don't get more Dragon Ball Z, so it's gonna make more GT, more fucking GT, more Z, more everything. Ah. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, seriously. Wait, what the hell is this? Ooh. Okay, I guess I'll reread that a little later. It's just a little detail that's coming across. So, yeah, there's all of that. Alright, so, fuck, where am I going with this? I just had like 5 thoughts go through my head right after I got done with my last point of GT originally supposed to end. You know, that's a bit of a bad habit Toriyama has. Whenever you're supposed to end the series, it ends up being really popular, so he keeps it going. I was like, dude, come on, seriously. Anyway, so that's pretty much all my problems right there. And you know, story not with I could talk about the story, but there's honestly not a whole lot to it. You know, Tuffle's bad, come back, infect humans, make new planets. Well, actually, the Baby Saga is definitely the most involved in the story. But then fucking the other sagas happened, and it was like Super 17 arc. Jiro meets Dr. Mew. Forge evil plan to create Super Android. Super Android made. Kick ass. Get destroyed by Goku. The end. That's basically it. There was also a funny little skirmish between Goku and versus Cell and Frieza in Otherworld. But of course, oh my god, this fucking show's art style just killed any sort of seriousness I could have had with Frieza and Cell. Not to mention Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which just kind of makes Cell and Frieza a complete fucking joke. So who cares, really? I mean, you're like, yeah, they're back. That's adorable. Frieza gets his ass kicked by a Super Saiyan. Cell gets his ass kicked. Well, he can maybe stand up to Super Saiyan too. I don't know. But Goku kind of multiple leagues above them, so who gives a shit, you know? He's just sticking around with them. Although it did show Cell being able to absorb people in his perfect form, which is kind of funny. I like that. It's kind of cool. And then Shadow Dragon arc happened, and goddamn. The cool, really fucking cool concept, you know, but again, it just you're kind of killing the idea that it's supposed to be revitalizing the soul of the original Dragon Ball. I probably shouldn't keep going on that, but I'm going to. But all right, so now that I got all that out of the way, you can probably see that I have some pretty negative opinions about this show. That's not strictly the case. I mean, this isn't accused that alright. The characters, while they don't do anything, it's still kind of like heartwarming as like a longtime DBZ fan to just sit there and watch. So it's got some moments every once in a while, few and far between. But alright, so that being said, now I want to talk about why I love about the show. First of all, Super Saiyan 4. Goddamn, Super Saiyan 4 is the best thing I have ever. It's like, this thing is so perfect in concept and execution, in my opinion, and here's why. Super Saiyan 4, it's so much different. It's such a stark contrast to Super Saiyan 1 and 2, hell, even 3 with like its ridiculous as hell hair, which, you know, even then, like Super Saiyan 3, you wouldn't think there's anything above that. Like, the description of it are that, you know, Super Saiyan 3 is like straining like every last ounce of potential out of a Saiyan's like body in order to this according to Raging Blast 2 entry, by the way, to get their shit like all together. That's so cool. Like, you know, there is nothing above this. This is like their very soul thrown into a form. But then how do you carry that from Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4? Well, some weird combination of like evolution, reverse evolution, and progression. It's alright. First of all, it's not just like a generic power up. I love it for that. It's not just a generic power up of like Goku training enough times that he can go from Super Saiyan 3 up to 4. No, Super Saiyan 3 is the technical limit to what a single person can do with Super Saiyan powers. That's like the wall. They can't go anything above that. They can only make Super Saiyan 3 more powerful. So how do you get to 4? Well, it's like this cool regression and actually conquering like the animal instincts of the great ape form. Yo, like for me, that is the coolest idea you can possibly do. It's like this weakness that, you know, the Saiyan's like innate primal desire to fight and kill people being overcome. The very essence of your lineage, of your race, being over. Stop harping on that. But you know what I'm getting at. That is such good writing right there. Like bringing back the great ape form that hasn't been used since ever. But it's still weird how Okai randomly knew that was going to happen, but yeah. And then not just that, but the art itself being like a cross between... Hang on a sec. I should really go pull it up again. Hang on a sec. But the Great Super Saiyan 4, of course I said, being like an evolution of the Saiyans themselves, like Elite Four in their evolutionary line. You'd have to like, the form itself would have to reflect that. So of course they do it beautifully. Like, let me go pull it up for the viewing audience. Say, I really about to change this like text type at some point. Super Saiyan 4. Is he still playing? I don't know. If it's not, I'll change the music in like a sec. Hang on a sec. Okay, this is Super Saiyan 4. So we go from just having like straight up gold hair that just looks, that would probably just be like reaching like his, like down past his feet if they just kept going with that. Instead they like took like the gray design, covered his body in hair, and made their hair like so like a animalistic warp of like the Saiyan's default hair. And then like, well, gotta throw the tail in too. So it looks like a combination of like the great ape form and the regular Saiyan like base form, but mixed. How fucking cool is that? That's this here. Say what you will about like, you know, like hairy armpits or other really lame ass jokes you want to come up with. This is a gloriously well designed piece of art right here. Like a lot of people don't really notice this, but Saiyans are pretty malleable species. Like they can transform into like some crazy bullshit sometimes. This is just like the epitome of it. Like, you know, like Super Saiyan 3 being like just crazy hair coming out of nowhere. So you know these fuckers can transform their like their whole body in like some unnatural way. Super Saiyan 4 just took it up to the next level. That's But of course the animation never really fully demonstrates as to how crazy cool this shit could be. Nah, it was just kind of like dialing it back a little bit. Just like, yeah, they can shoot energy blasts. Which was why I hate GT for not being able to do the Super Saiyan 4 form justice. How cool it looks. That being said though, I would not want it to be drawn these days because Toriyama is doing everything fucking, what was it? It's kind of computer generated, so everything just looks really fucking angular and blocking. I'm like, ugh. Where'd the art go? Where'd the style go? If it looked anything like Battle of Gods, I would probably just immediately vomit like all over myself. Like, nope, can't do it. Can't live with this. That being said, Super Saiyan 4 Broly. No. If there's anyone who thrives on animalistic instincts, it's definitely Broly. So not only would he not be able to reach Super Saiyan form, he shouldn't be worthy of it. I mean, like, he's not the magnum opus of the fucking Saiyans. Like, he's not Goku or Vegeta who took their Saiyan lineage to the farthest peaks and beyond. He's just some dude who got ran power up and that's it. You know, just, you know, giant plot hole became a functioning character and Like, yeah, growing some legs and muscles, and that's it. Just, no. No, thank you. Super Saiyan 3 Broly, I can live with. That's actually pretty cool. Super Saiyan 4, not worthy. No, yeah, it just doesn't work that being like legendary Super Saiyan because of reflection. Super Saiyan 4 is a reflection of the base form. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. Now, Nova Shenron. Goddamn, Nova Shenron. Alright, so Nova Shenron was originally born from King Piccolo's wish for youth something. I don't know if it's eternal youth or just youth period. I don't know. Anyway, it's made by that wish. And the way he's drawn, like Nova Shenron is played up, is actually as like a reflection of the old relationship between Goku and Piccolo. Like Goku and Piccolo Jr. Like, you know, like not King Piccolo, but like the Piccolo we know from Z. That one. That is fucking tight. I mean, like, they start out as arch rivals and enemies, you know, just like in Dragon Ball. But eventually, since Shenron shows up, and once Nova Shenron is brought back from the dead, him and Goku team up against Omega Shenron. Just like how Goku and Piccolo teamed up against Raditz. And again, this is the same character. These parallels are so fucking cool. I love it. So for a certain amount of time, one of the Shadow Dragons became the Z Fighter. Tell me that's not the coolest thing in human history. My god. But unfortunately, that triumvirate of just mind-bendingness just fell flat in like the first 5 minutes, because as soon as Nova Shenron was revealed to be a good guy, yeah, he kind of just tried to sacrifice himself to kill Megatron, and it failed horribly. So I'm like, this fucking show, why is it disrespect all new characters? But for the time that Nova Shenron was on screen, his design was so fucking cool compared to all the other Shadow Dragons, Omega Shenron included. Like, none of them, all the Shadow Dragons leading up to Nova Shenron have been like weird deformed masses, like of what a dragon usually looks like. There was fucking like the poison Shenron, the ice Shenron just looked like a giant fucking gargoyle. There was like the electric one, like electric slime one, that just like looked more like just like a giant pterodactyl with like a fat body. So none of the Shadow Dragons have been portrayed as being actual dragons of worth. And then you reach Nova Shenron, and all of a sudden, shit just hit the fan so hard. So yeah, how about that? And then Ice Shenron, Nova and Ice being like complete parallels, you know, like fire and ice. Nova Shenron is like Piccolo and likes to have, like, is actually competitive and likes to fight fairly. And then Ice Shenron, this complete cheating little cunt who decides to just blindside Goku and try to get the best of him, getting to get his shit pushed in anyway. That was a really fucking cool dynamic, and then Omega Shenron rolls up and just kind of kills it. But yeah, my god, Nova Shenron, for the time he was there, fire abilities that actually did damage, that actually were effective, because at this point, if you're not Super Saiyan or you're not ridiculously overpowered, you're not doing anything. So the fact that there's something else out there that could actually like compete in this show is really cool, let alone at Super Saiyan 4 level. Oh my god, Nova Shenron actually did outclass Super Saiyan 4 at some points. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So there's that. And now let's go to Baby. Alright, so let's look at the other two main villains of the show, shall we? Omega Shenron, generic, overpowered dude that just kind of there, rolls up to the crib and is like, hey guys, I own this shit now, you guys respected me. And no. And there's Super 17, again, like cool rehash of an old character that's kind of just like chilling there, not doing anything. It was kind of clever. He was written in, like, you know, Toriyama was like, oh yeah, Android 17 is just not doing anything right now. He's on Earth living a peaceful life. Let's bring him back and do something. I like that. That's a cool idea. I actually really do like Super 17's design too. It's like weird, like they got rid of his eyebrows like Super Saiyan 3 and gave him like a kind of like sleek redesign. So he's actually like muscular, no longer a teenager. He's actually an adult. I like that. That's cool. But now let's get to the main like the best villain introduced in this fucking show, Baby. Ho ho, Baby. Alright, so this isn't actually the first time a tuple has been brought back from times untold. that was just brought. Actually, no, that's not true. It was only like 20 years before the show actually started, huh? So it was. Go on, Bob. Collect your thoughts. So the first tactical temple that was brought back to fight the Saiyans was Hachiak in the movie that actually was only just re-released in America. I don't think it's been dubbed yet. I think it might be soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But then we have Hachiak. Then Baby rolls around, who is allegedly the first time Americans have seen Tuffle do stuff. And this fucker is just like, he's like Boo, but he's calculating, he's focused, and he has a goal, and he's intelligent as hell too. And he's body snatching everyone, controlling them from within, going stealth mode, and it honestly gives me callbacks to like the old days of Imperfect Cell, just like absorbing everyone. But this time he's like stealthily taking everyone over instead of absorbing them outright. So it like implants like the fear in the back of your head that this guy's going around just like mercilessly slaughtering people, and except he's just like taking them over from within. That in my book is even more like gruesome, because like that just like a little phobia I have. But anyway, so he the kind of lead up though, getting it to that point though, you know, it was like the Black Star Dragonball hunt leading up to that reveal. That was kind of a little boring, I will admit. It was like this random Tuffle just chilling out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's brought back, luckily brought back by Saiyans, and had an idea of where they were going and what they were doing. Convenient, hey? But no, that just randomly happens. But then fucking Baby manages to track Goku and Trunks and Pan like through space, and eventually comes back to Earth. To body snatches everyone on Earth. So when Goku and company land back on Earth, everyone is under fucking Baby's influence, and they don't know anything to lie. Everything just seems really normal to them, but the audience is like, whoa, there's some weird shit going on. I don't like this. And it's cool too, because like the entire time Goku and Trunks Pan were out in space, you see the events transpire on Earth, like Baby confronting Goten, Baby Goten confronting Gohan, and then both of those two confronting Vegeta, taking Vegeta over and like securing his place, not only as like in the strongest being that was on the Earth at the time, but also like Baby spy snatched the Prince of Saiyans. That's fucking cool. That's like a really good like workaround for like character development right there. He just like achieved his ultimate goal. He just like took over the leader of the Saiyans for like, you know, for what it's worth. That's fucking tight. And then once Goku and everyone comes back, Trunks is actually like body snatched, and Pan's just kind of like doing whatever. And no, Baby was like, Pan's back. I don't give a shit. I wanted to kick Goku's ass. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't blame him. New planet Tuffle, bringing all like the people who are being brainwashed as Tuffles over to the Tuffle planet. All this shit going down, and it's just so fucking cool to watch a villain succeed in the show. Like, you never really see a villain reach their goals in a show, besides like maybe Cell. But his only real goal was to like absorb the androids, become perfect. Outside of that, he never really had any like explicit goals. And then the Boo was just kind of like, yeah, he's just kind of there. The song's not very good. Hang on a sec. There we go. Excuse me. And then Frieza's goal was like immortality, but of course he never got it. I'd say the only characters who really had their goal succeed in the show was who was it? Lord Slug. He got his which were Eternal Youth, King Piccolo. Although I think his was more Conquest. I'm not sure, but he definitely got one of the things he wanted. And I'm going down the list of movie characters. Turles got what he wanted. He wanted Fruit Tree of Might, and he got it. By God, he got it. Garlic Jr. Actually, Garlic Jr. also got his shit too, but he wanted revenge against Kami. He never got that either. I guess Broly kind of succeeded in a way because he wanted Goku dead, but Goku was already dead by the time the second movie rolled around, so he was just kind of there like, whatever. Going down the list further, that's about it for everyone I can think of off the top of my head. In terms of like villains who actually got what they wanted in the show. Baby, oh my god, he actually managed to. He is like a really cool character on like comparable even Cell. in terms of quality, and he gets what he wanted, and but he only gets his ass kicked by like the evolutionary trumping of Super Saiyan 4. That's wow. It took a lot to kill that guy. All right, so I guess it's just kind of coming full circle now in terms of like everything that I think about GT. So I love those few things in the show that are really fucking nice. It's good. Hang on a sec. Okay. So well, actually, I should talk about Hero's Legacy. I would, but I don't like it. I think it's a bad lead up to nothing, and I have nothing to say about it because it's been forever since I've actually watched it. So you know that I don't really have any opinions on it. You know, it was kind of getting everyone's hopes up, like, oh my god, a new Dragon Ball series past GT, and I'm sorry to say, guys, but nothing new past GT. However, we probably will get something new, like between GT and Z. I'm betting that, but